This is Trail Rider 570. Today we're going to do another brake mod. We're going to be putting a set of springs on a 2018 Polaris Ranger 570. Right here it is. I know you've seen this in my videos before. Hear the rattle? And we'll get started here in a few. So anyway, guys, back to the old same old thing. He's got the clicky brakes, so we're going to pull this caliper off. I'm going to put a spring in between here. We're going to do both the rears of it. So cheater, we put Loctite on. I figured I had somebody else. I found this from somebody else, but I've improved upon it. They used cheaper springs, and I didn't figure they were going to hold up that long. So I got all these other springs are a lot better, and I could adjust the spring rates. So that's what I did. See, if they made this caliper so it would float like a car,
yeah,
it would help it a lot.
Well, you'd think that'd be something that from a factory, though, that they'd realize that is an issue.
What it is, if you look at the brake pads, they got square holes. They got a round pin. They don't want to put a round pin in a round hole.
Why would you want to do something so crazy?
Because they're concerned that it would corrode and seize to the pin, and you lose braking. They're just covering their butt. I mean, you can get rid of the rattle if you want to put a set of brake pads on every 500 miles.
Right, tighten everything back up.
You know, that's basically, and what we're doing here is a duplicate of what we do on the other side, so that's what I did in the video. I just showed doing one side because it's the same. Actually, it's the same all the way around. The caliper, pulling that pin out, that's all the same. Because what we do, then hopefully it's not frozen in there, corroded in there. You end up with that set screw and 2 bolts that you're going to take off.
What's that set screw that you took out? What is that set? What is that doing?
That holds this pin in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's why I was pounding that. Because you push the top pin in and you rotate the brake pad around and take it off. See if there's Loctite. Then we're going to go do the same thing here. You know, I could have grabbed just a ratchet and done this. But every time I ever do these, I do them by hand for some reason. Well, by the time you get a socket, and sometimes it hits, and you can just pop these out with your hand. There. Okay, we got 2 bolts out and the set screw. Now this should come off. See there? What we do, we're gonna see what I'm going to try to do is see how that's
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
that'll give enough. Then I'll put a spring in here.
Yep.
We're going to put a little bit of goopy juice in there.
So are you getting out on any fishing trips or anything on your?
No, actually no. My wife's not really into fishing that much.
Yeah.
But I have a couple friends up here. One does charter. And she said, I can do that with it. They charter on the river up here. And she said, if you want to do that, you can do that.
Yeah, because the time you're going up, boy, when you catch a Canjuna, boy, those silvers will probably be running, which is a sight to see because they run through there like unbelievable.
Well, this vacation is kind of done. This is what she wanted to do. Always wanted to do is go to Alaska. So
Yeah.
it's
She'll enjoy it for sure.
so that's basically what we're doing. I mean, I want to go too, but this is her dream vacation.
Yep.
So, matter of fact, a day or so ago, the concierge or our cruise director called us and was asking if we're telling us what we get, because we're getting down the wire. We only got 38 days.
Yeah.
And asking like, you need to do this and this and this, print on our luggage tags and stuff
Right.
like that. So it's like, okay. And I have an app we put on our phones that they give us. Yeah, they checked it over. They never even took the brake pads off it. We probably just looked at them. And I have to go like that and get a punch.
Yeah.
And just tap it. That pin to get. We're getting down there. See there?
Close.
Oh. I grab a screwdriver.
It's not giving up easy.
Yeah, just don't want to kink that brake line. So if you remember to like, subscribe, and comment, 'cause
Yeah.
you can comment, and if you share this video, eventually I'll have.
Yeah. See, I didn't realize.
Eventually I'm gonna have a drawing. I give away drones.
Do you?
On my Trail Riders channel, they don't know that, but I do. I'm affiliated with GoCon. They're out of the UK, and they'll send me drones to do test fly and do reviews on.
Ah.
So. There it went. See there?
Yeah. Sure.
There's your pads off. That's how you take them off. The new ones are 2 pads.
Yeah.
You got his walk.
He got his walk in.
Yeah, come on.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
This is Doug.
Hi,
This is Parker. That's why I'm working on it.
come on.
I told him I pulled in. I introduced myself. I said I got a funny story. I said I got a problem with my class. I took to the internet, and as soon as I seen you, I thought, oh, he looks. Because I'd seen him driving with the little guy on the
Yeah.
golf cart, and then he drove by Snyder's place, and I seen that sign. I reversed the video. I thought, well, he's at Whiskey Creek too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I didn't mean for him to be here.
But he has nothing to do until Kurt gets back.
But you was talking about your Alaska trip. I've been there many times, and boy, you're just gonna absolutely. It's everything that you have kind of dreamed that it would be. It really is just
Yeah.
a really unbelievable
Everybody
place.
that I know
Oh.
that has been there.
Oh,
says
there he
the
is,
same
Ryan.
thing, so.
Yes.
Come on, let's go in the house. You gotta get a drink. Come on. Come on.
Just like that.
There it is.
Just like that, guys. We're putting springs between the pads. Right now, it doesn't look good, but once you get them on there, we get everything set, the pads are going to ride straight, and they're not going to be riding on this rotor as much, and the clicking's going to go away. Then we just put it back together. We do the same thing to the other side. And if it comes back, we can always put a heavier spring in there, but this might be just fine for you. Low end's when you really notice it.
Yeah. See, I don't when I get going like down the road and stuff, I don't hear it hardly at all. When I'm just kind of putting, you hear it.
Well, that's why at low end it was doing it on me, and they said, well, we got to put replace the driver's side, passenger side front rear axle is bad on it. So they said we're going to put a new axle on it. So we had to order an axle. Then I called him. I said, well, what's the update on it? He says, well, we put an axle in it, took it out for a test drive. The noise is still there, so we're going to order the axle for the other side. I said, okay. He says, when I got down there, they said, it's all ready. We want you to come down, though. We want you to test drive it. Well, they don't have a big enough area to do what we got to do.
Right.
I got home and drove it from here to my friend's house, and sure enough,
Still there.
it was still there. And they, I called them back, and I said, well, I went searching. I ain't the only one that knows this mod, obviously. A couple of hillbillies from Kentucky, but they used really cheap spring. I don't even know if it would last. The heat doesn't affect these. These are cut to a length, whereas these pads wear down, it ain't gonna affect it.
Right.
And they used some kind of spring that was thinner than this. And I thought, well, if they're using a thin spring to take it away, if I use a little thicker one, because somebody said that, you know, the weight of the spring is going to affect your pedal. It's going to work harder. These things got 1,200, 1,500 pounds of pressure in the hydraulic system on them. I said that a 17-pound spring, two 17-pound springs are not going to affect it.
Yeah.
And it's been working good. Matter of fact, it worked so well, I just automatically did the front. Because I could hear it after I did the back.
Right.
I was hearing it, but it wasn't as bad. So I just automatically just went ahead and did it. This is my hillbilly torque wrench right here.
I use that same hillbilly torque wrench.
Yeah, my wife's, she's been in my YouTube stuff. She says, every time we go someplace, you gotta take camera. I said, yeah, I know. It's for YouTube.
I just think it's such a cool thing, right? To be able to, retire and still have something where you can generate some income.
Oh, I do pretty good. Sometimes I get so much income I can't get Social Security.
Yeah. It's a good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah, if you make so much money, Social Security won't pay you.
Yes. Yeah, I gotta start getting smart about that whole. I got a few more years, but
I'm gonna tell you right now the difference between retiring at 62
yeah.
and working till 67 is $30 a month.
Is that right?
Yeah. So think about it. Your eye probably piss away $30 a month.
Yeah, easy.
And I just said, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah, because we've actually talked about.
Okay, now. This in gear.
I didn't touch it.
Okay. Let's.
That's right.
All right, guys, I had to cut short. We had the issue. This pin right here, if you see how it's sitting there, right there, right now, you got to make sure that's sticking out. Don't tighten that up till it goes all the way in, because then it binds on the rotor. So I already did the other side. He's as he calls it, he's retiring it. What I'm doing is I'm loosening the bolt, I'm loosening everything up. Then I'll take the pin out. Then I'll take it apart afterwards. Bolt loose and be all set. You know, I hate it. I'm strictly a left-handed person. And we've already did the shake test on this side. It's rattly too.
Took me a minute to realize on and off is the same trigger. You don't have to push it. Very slick, Claude. That is slick.
Rattle's gone.
Uh-huh.
If you hear a rattle now, it's going to be in the front end, and we may have to do the same to the front. I did end up doing all four of my calipers.
Yeah, everything I hear is rear end. And it all sounded like here, but obviously that was doing it just as bad.
Well, it tunnels, so you can't really tell.
Uh-huh.
Say if we did spring on that side and took for a ride, you probably would hear this side then.
Yeah.
But if we did this side, didn't do that side, you'd hear that side. So it just makes sense at that point just to go ahead and do the spring mod on both of them.
Right.
And it's the same setup for doing the front wheels. So once you see it done, it's not that complicated to do it.
You're right, but it is. That's a pretty slick modification. I mean, right?
The brake heat doesn't affect the springs. They won't lose their tension. So they won't break. They won't, over a period of time. I ain't saying they won't corrode, but
Right.
the springs are like $3 for a pair of them.
Right.
And the pair will get you to the back. So. If you look at your engine and look at mine, it looks almost the same. You got fly-by-wire and everything else, but there's just some internal things that they've changed on. You notice mine too, how this is opened up into here.
Yeah.
You look at mine.
Oh yeah.
It's sealed up.
Uh-huh.
Two things: it keeps the crap off and
Yeah.
out of the battery area.
Yep.
Then also it keeps the motor noise down.
You get a lot of heat in your cab from your engine.
That has shielding on it.
I get a lot of heat on the passenger side when you're sitting there.
Yeah, they got a shielding on the box and they got a shielding on the back of the cab. You see right here. See how that shield is?
Oh yeah.
Then they got a shield here, and they kind of interlock into each other.
I gotcha.
So you don't get the heat coming up the back. Yeah, that whole thing lifts out in 5 minutes. That's on a piece of You buy that sheeting at Menards for $80. That's not the actual bottom of the
I got you.
box. That all that lifts out. If you want to take it out and I got it here. That one went easy. Now I gotta get the other two springs. You got them.
Yes.
Then we put a spring on each stud, just like that, each pin. Make sure when you put these on there, you put the brake pad material to the rotor. Don't go backwards, because you can put them on backwards. See how it's got a square hole?
Sure enough.
Square hole and round pin. See what it does?
Yep.
They don't want them tight because they're afraid they're gonna corrode on there and your brakes are gonna go out on you.
Yep. Liability.
Yep, that's all they're doing. CYA, as they say, covering your ass.
Yep. She is.
I got 20-pound springs on the back of mine, but you don't necessarily have to put a really heavy spring on it.
Right.
You just need something in there that will force those pads against the caliper. That's where you want it to be. You don't want it to, you know. I probably get crap because I'm not using the torque wrench, but I do these as in if the average Joe out there was doing it.
Do you get a lot of replies on your post?
Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're negative. Like my videos, my ride videos, I did on the community tab, I did a question. I said, do you like the music or do you not like the music? Most people would rather hear me talking to the dog and hear the engine than hear music. But when I do them videos, I notice, going by my analytics, my views drop.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how many views? How many views do you?
I have one video that's up there. It's got 8,000 right now.
Is that right?
Yeah. And when that means if you do their way of doing the math, when it comes time for to get paid for that channel, because they'll just combine it with my other Google account. This will be a big paycheck.
Yeah.
I have one video, it's 1,400, 8,000. On my other channel, I got one video, it's over 10,000 views.
I always wondered how people, because my son he always would say that, you know, yeah, these people are getting paid through YouTube. I'm like, well, how do you get paid?
Google AdSense actually pays me. Google owns YouTube. That's why I say if you got a Gmail account, you got a YouTube channel. But you got to almost go to log in on the computer, log into your email account, and you look up in the top, you'll see some boxes there, like little dots. You click on there and it says, you want them to be a YouTube icon. Click there and it says, you click on it and it says create a channel.
How'd you learn it all? Just trial and error?
By doing.
Yeah.
I'm already sweating.
See, I'm the one that should be doing the sweating. You're the one doing all the work. So back to the retirement thing. So my wife's she's getting ready to turn 62. I'm 61. And I've actually sat and looked at. So the numbers just don't justify staying and work for.
Well, if I'm going to tell anybody that's close to 62, retire when you can enjoy it.
No, that's it too.
I've seen people that work till they're 67, and they hit 68 and they're dead.
Yeah. Or they just can't. They have no mobility anymore.
Exactly.
Can't get out and enjoy it.
See there? See there? That pad's not even.
Not even touching.
Just like that. Tire on and rattle's gone. And guys out there in YouTube world, I did it again, lost my train of thought. Just like that, that's how you do a brake mod on a 2018 Polaris Ranger 570 EFI. But that's how you do the brake mods on them. So hope you enjoy this video. If you're new to my channel, always remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share and comment as well. Bye-bye for now.